Well, hello everyone, welcome down to another Quest for the Open video, and I've got quite a few things going on this video. I've got a really cool unboxing, well, technically it's an unbagging, and that's going to be coming in just a moment. Then I've also got a comp coming up in a few days, which I really need to practice for. So if you're unfamiliar with the Quest for the Open videos, every year I try and go through open qualifying. This year there is no open qualifying, but as part of that process, I try and improve my own game, playing comps, have lessons. So this is also I can improve my golf, but hopefully improve yours as well. Awkward height. So I was out of Formby Ladies Golf Club yesterday and I was playing absolutely terrible. I actually sit. One thing that really stood out though is my wedge game. Wow, terrible. Just no control over distance, no idea about how far my clubs are going. But let's have a little bit of a look at what's arrived through the post. No. I don't know how to do an unbagging. This arrived. So yeah, got a quad through. So I've used Foresight Sports products now for, well, years, but I've never actually had my own quad before. So I've also been using radar-based launch monitors and everything else in between, but quad works differently than radar launch monitors in the fact that it takes pictures at impact, everything around impact. Got a gazillion and one different features, which I'm gonna be showing off during the upcoming weeks. If you do want any more info on the quad or other Foresight stuff, I've left a link in the description below, so you can go check it out. So fired up the gapping software here. So I'm gonna start with a lob wedge. Now I'm experimenting around with a few different balls here. So I'm using the Pro V to begin with. So full swing. Sailing down the range and pretty straight. You'll need 3 good shots with each club. Okay, so you can take 10. So that was pretty decent. Tracing through the air. I'd say that's pretty consistent. So you can see here, these are the 3 shots that I've taken with the lob wedge. Pretty consistent, so I'm going to move on to the next club. So you can see one of the first issues here with my gapping. So the gap between my lob wedge and my sand wedge on that full shot is pretty big. Now I'm pretty good at little half wedge shots, so I can kind of get away with that, but that is something that I probably do need to have a little bit of a look at. Maybe my 60 degree should be more of a 58 degree potentially. An 11-yard gapping between my other clubs, absolutely lovely, like that. And you can see here, it's also giving me my exact carry numbers. Now, when you're trying to gap wedges, it is that carry distance that matters. Also going to be using the software today to try and hone in those distances, which now I know about with my wedges.
So let's talk you through this comp at Clitheroe, I suppose. So I ended up shooting a 78, which is a +7 round Clitheroe. And a few things certainly came together in a real cacophony of crap golf. But I've got to be honest, if this carries on, then I'm just going to knock like the Quest for the Open on the head. I can't keep doing it like this. A few times a year I tend to go through like stages of not sleeping that well, but this last But this last stage has been going on for like a month now, so it's a pretty long stint really. And I'm not sure who said this, I think it was like a college coach in the US, but fatigue makes cowards of us all, and I'm really understanding that saying a little bit more now. Just because of the fact I'm not rested. My game was everywhere, my swing was everywhere, no feeling on anything. And the mental game, which I've been working on over the past few weeks and which have been getting better, I just wasn't able to cope with that pressure of a competition, basically. I've not been able to get up to Clitheroe prior to the competition. I've just not had time and issues with the car. So I put myself behind the 8 ball there already. But the third hole at Clitheroe, just a beautiful encapsulated example of how I was really struggling. So the third hole at Clitheroe, it's a dog leg about 450 round the corner to the right hand side, but the way that the angle sits, you can take a driver pretty much straight over the corner. But it's 250 yards run out on the fairway, it's 260 to the water hazard that runs diagonally across the centre of the fairway, and it's about 280 to carry everything onto the second section of the fairway. Now I weighed up my options and I thought that 3-wood was going to be the best play. Now I hit my 3-wood about 260 yards. And as you might expect, I ended up in the water and with a double bogey. And all round, my decision making was like that. It was just turgid. And Ryan O'Neill ended up winning again at -4. He is really, really in a good vein of form at the moment. Classy golf runner, classy guy. One big positive though, my wedge play was actually pretty good. Just a little bit of work on distance control. It's amazing that sometimes you don't need like loads of practice to really kind of unlock something. I'm not saying I hold any of the putts after I wedged it pretty close, but so with the Quest with Open videos, I'm trying to improve my golf and really myself to a whole new level, which it's just not been at before. Now, none of this matters to anyone really apart from me. And I'm still one of those incredibly lucky people who get to call this like a job. But when you state a goal publicly and then you can't live up to that expectation, it's incredibly frustrating, and everybody watching this knows how frustrating golf can be anyway. And I don't want anyone to be under a false illusion about basically what I do. So I spend most of my week on a laptop, on a phone, on calls to people, and then planning and then filming. You know, trying to make the channel as good as it can be, and I think it's really heading in a good direction, and hopefully you guys watching this agree. So trying to plan out the practice, actually practice, and then do everything else whilst feeling like just like a walking zombie as opposed to a, I don't know, led down zombie, I suppose. It's just pointless because I'm not actually going to improve on anything. I'm just going to end up falling over. Just like hitting myself in the face with a salmon. As mentioned, like none of this matters. Not really. Golf is just a game. You know, the world on a daily basis feels like it's spinning out of control, and golf can be just a great refuge from that. And my attitude really does need to align a little bit more in that direction. The Quest with Open videos have given me personally just so much satisfaction to actually do. And I know from the messages and the comments that I get, they've helped so many people with their own golf game. But if I can't sleep and I can't improve, then I can't carry on doing these vids. So I'm gonna have a few days off now. I'm gonna completely and utterly switch off work, golf, everything. Reset and then go again. Also, I just wanted to take this opportunity to sincerely thank you guys for actually watching these videos. Your support lets me do a job which I didn't even know existed a few years ago. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.